How do I know, as a believer who has a relationship with his pastor, or hopefully does, how do I know whether I need my pastor or I need a mental health counselor?
Yeah, and it's a good question. Just in some of my own reading, I think if a person has, I'll just use a broad term, if they have clergy in their life, in this case, we'd say pastor. Oftentimes, if they have a challenge, they will go to a pastor first, just because this is somebody you would hope that you trust. So sometimes the work of a pastor in counseling is triaging. Somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got something I'm dealing with," and you kind of look at it and go, okay, I think this is what you're dealing with. Certainly, there's always going to be a spiritual component to it. But sometimes you might say, yeah, there's a little bit more here than I'm able to deal with, or maybe that I have the time to deal with. If you're serving a large flock and you say, yeah, that's pretty time consuming, and we've got some really good people nearby here. Let's get you connected. Trying to think of just issues. I'm one that likes tangible examples, but maybe one that I think people might be familiar with would just be like a PTSD type thing. Certainly, there can be spiritual aspects to what somebody's struggling with, but you're going to want to connect them with a counselor who can help work through some of the issues and the symptoms that they're facing.